Okay, I'm going to record this meeting. Not sure if this will be published right away or after, but we are just recording it for the sake of reference in future if we may need to. So if people are comfortable with camera on, fair enough. If not, they can switch it off. So this is not a very formal meeting. We can maybe start with introducing and then what ideas or thoughts if you guys have to share with the team. We are all ears. So let me start with myself. I'm Pooja Ranjan, the herder-in-chief of Ethereum Cat Herders. With me have my team member, William Schwab. So William, if you would like to talk for yourself.
Actually, can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, sorry, Zoom's had this weird bug where it mutes my mic like from the system anytime I connect these days. So yeah, sorry about that. I'm Will. I've been a cat herder for a while. I'm primarily in external ops right now, just doing ecosystem coordination work when it comes. Excited to lend hand over here.
Hey Pooja, if you're talking, you're on mute. Can't hear you.
Thanks. Yeah, so we have people from different group, I believe. I have just picked up you guys from the onboarding form that you have filled for us. So if like you guys want to start, any one of you can start.
Sure, I can go first. So my name is Supreet. I originally hail from India. I'm living in San Jose right now. My background is primarily in program management. I've been working the last few years helping create some enterprise softwares for some of our clients. What brings me to this Ethereum community, I think probably like everyone else, I got interested in blockchain. I started reading up, and I think the best way to learn is by doing, and also being a collaborative community. I'm sure there are a lot of opportunities to help the ecosystem advance, but not being a developer, I wasn't sure how I can contribute, and I stumbled upon Ethereum Cat Herders, which I thought would be a better fit for my background. So that's why I wanted to see, what's out there, how I can help contribute, and that's why I am here.
That's nice. Thank you so much. Like here in the Cat Herders group, people are developers and people are non-developers as well. Like this is a right forum to begin the journey with Ethereum blockchain, even if you are not a software developer.
Yep.
So maybe Ronin, I see you on the screen.
Hi, my name is Mark. I've been part of Ethereum and crypto since 2017. I live in Canada. I've been talking a bit to Hudson Jameson, and he suggested that I get involved to try and meet some of the community, because I've been involved in Ethereum, but only kind of from an outsider's perspective. For about the past 4 years, I've been a project manager in IT and IT healthcare, actually, and it's been quite busy. So I thought I would take a break from that because getting kind of burned out from it. So I thought it would be a good time to get involved in something new and take this opportunity to try to see what's out there and maybe help with some project management skills.
Nice. Welcome here.
Thanks.
Gasper.
Hello. Hi, guys. Nice to meet you. I just joined. Is it okay if I do a quick intro? Okay. So I'm working in IT for the last about 20 years. I've worked for 10 years as an engineer and about 10 years as a product manager. I recently quit my job to pursue other things. I was working in advertising industry. I'm kind of a specialist in that area. But, it's a frustrating industry. And I was always interested a lot in cryptocurrencies. I have some experience with that as well. I've helped the company do an ICO, like when this was a thing back in the days. So I managed the contracts back then. And the whole like on-chain process. So I have some experience with these things, and I'm just like looking now for opportunities in this space and kind of see where it's gonna take me. Yeah.
That's
Nice to
awesome.
meet you all.
That's awesome. Right. Yeah. Here, like people, I'm trying to like connect people as well. Like if you are looking for a job or if you have a job, either way, if you reach out to the right person from with the help of cat herders, I hope it's going to be helpful for the ecosystem overall.
That's awesome.
So I see the next name here on the screen is Pants.
Yeah, hey. So I'm joining this. Just a note, like the email you sent about joining like the ECH group. I think I filled out that form like 3 or 4 months ago, so I was like, no idea who this is coming from. So yeah, I would maybe just put like Ethereum cat herder somewhere in that email because I thought it was spam at first. But yeah, so I do work at one of the larger infrastructure companies in crypto. As a developer, mostly on Ethereum-based products. Joining this to see what I can do to push forward like improvements to the docs and for like Geth and such, and also maybe like the Discord of Geth right now, which is quite useless to be honest. So that's my main motivation for joining here, and let's see what we can do.
Nice. Yeah. I don't know about that particular Discord, but with the help of ECH, we are trying to get all client teams over here, at least some representatives. So if you have any question, comment, or concern related to any particular client, that should be helped or addressed.
Cool. That's good to hear.
Yeah. So can we go ahead with Hamza?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, so my name is Hamza. I also live in Canada. I have a background in software development. I've been software developer for some time. Just recently, about a year, working as a product manager, but also still doing some software development. And for a few months now, started learning and kind of getting my hands dirty with Solidity development. And yeah, I've been for the last few months trying to see if there are any ways I can contribute to the ecosystem. So that's why I'm here.
Nice, welcome. I see 2 more names here before I can introduce another of the current cat herders member, Muzammil and Ari, if I spell your name correct.
Yep. I'm happy to go first. I am head of strategy for an NFT platform called Notables. We are running drops both on the Ethereum and Matic networks. We are very bullish on Ethereum, and in general, we would love to, further down the line, incorporate solutions that will be based on the Ethereum blockchain for, much larger drops. But currently, based on its current status and gas wars and everything in between, and its eventual transition to Web3, but not there yet, we have to run our drops on Matic currently. So I am here with the purpose and hope to eventually get Ethereum to the point where we can get to layer 3 and it can really become the solution for everything that is a smart contract, regardless of the protocol.
Interesting. We have William Schwab here on the call, who is also working with NFT working group. So in case you need any kind of help, I think you both can connect.
Sounds great.
So the last name here is Muzammil Ashraf. I don't know if you can hear me, Muzammil. If not, then feel free to jump in and introduce yourself whenever you have your microphone or you would like to. We have Kenneth. He is also one of the cat herders being involved with the notes taking team and is also related to, working with Consensus Academy. Kenneth, if you would like to go ahead and talk what you do and about yourself.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all today. My name is Kenneth Luster, and I'm a lead ambassador at Consensus, also part of the 2021 Consensus Academy. Uh, I help manage the time for all the students, making sure that they're able to study, etc., etc. So I facilitate that mainly is what I do, as well as my participation and contributing with the ECH. And I'm so glad that you all are here and you're able to ask questions and see what you can and contribute to things of that nature. Definitely Discord's a great place where we all interact for sure. So it's very nice to see and meet you all. And definitely, my name is Ken Man in Discord. So if you ever have any questions or need to answer or looking for something, just message me. I'll try my best to help, as well as messaging us within the ECH Discord too. Also, so yeah, it's definitely nice to meet you all. I'm glad to be here and to see you today.
Thank you, Kenneth. So I think that's all for the introduction. And in this meeting, I was just hoping to talk about some of the tasks that is being performed by the cat herders. I don't know if anyone has gotten a chance to look into the cat herders website. So it basically lists all what we do. We are involved with the upgrades. That's like a coordination part related to EIPs, Ethereum improvement proposals. Try to help with governance. There is EIP meeting in which we try to kind of define a process with which anyone from the community can contribute, and if they have suggestions that can be incorporated to improve the process. So that's there. Other than that, we have people from different projects. We have people that can help with the setting up of clients and also helping with the old wallets. Like if there are an issue with old wallets or something like that, they can do that. So I'll be curious to hear more thoughts and ideas if you any of you guys have to share with us, and if there is any idea that you would think that cat herders can support and you would like to take an initiative on, we'd be happy to hear them out. In the meanwhile, I see someone joining in, Sanjeev. We are just done with the introduction, but you just join. If you feel like talking about yourself, feel free to jump in.
Yeah. Hi, Pooja. Hi, everybody. My name is Sanjeev Kumar. So yeah, I'm a blockchain developer and architect. So I'm just learning the ropes a little bit. But yeah, happy to hear the ideas and also then maybe help with something. Thank you.
That's nice. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for considering to be a part of this amazing community where we are trying to grow together. So if people have anything that they are particularly interested in, or they would like the cat herders to do, please share your ideas.
Maybe Pooja, if I may, maybe I have just one question. What would be the best way, when I was sort of thinking what I would like to do is certainly I would like to contribute in a meaningful way to the community and, either help with documentation or whatever process there is, right? And maybe I just fallen through the cracks, right? But what would be the best way to go from, I don't know what to do and how to help, to, okay, this is what you can do and we really need this and we're pretty certain that, this is what we need to do, right? We just need someone to take care of it. And it can be relatively complex. Like I know certain things about the ecosystem and I've dabbled with it, but I just for me, it was really hard to identify areas where I could meaningfully contribute, right?
Right. So just an information on a broader level. with this team, we are actually working closer with the development team plus support. All the relevant information should go out to community. So that's what we are currently engaged with. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some ideas on that, so we don't fall through the cracks here. There are certain meetings in which either you can follow the notes or you can follow the recording, and that will give you idea of what people are actually looking for. If you are from a developer's side and you would like to contribute to development, there are research meetings that happens. Cat herders document notes for that, and for some meetings notes are not there but recordings are there, and we try to get all those recordings available on Ethereum cat herders playlist. Latest meetings are being done on stateless Ethereum, right? So stateless Ethereum, and there is ASE meeting and all sort of research work. We have the information, so you can go through that, and people want that. If anyone is interested to pursue the research on that particular segment, the research is a broader area, right? If you want to go ahead with the smaller section, you can continue that, and then we can put you in the touch with the right person, so whom you can talk to and interact. There is another thing going up with like a all core dev internship program. I believe today is the last day to fill up the form for internship program. This is a program for new developers who wants to be like a core developer in future, irrelevant of client. You can be a part of any language you prefer. You can choose any client you want to pursue with, but the core idea how these things work. So there is Piper Mariam. He runs a program called ACD apprenticeship program. We can help you with that. We can connect you to the right team if you fill out the form or whatnot. And then for people who are non-technical, EIP governance is there. People who are like who thinks that they can help in the process part. So EIP meeting is there where we talk about how things move along the process and what can be done. So if an external contributor gets in the way, they should find it very easy to get into it, right? They do not find it challenging. So we need to have proper documentation. I heard one of you guys are interested in documenting Get. That would be really helpful for Get team, right? Not only for Get team, but for the user who wants to have a Get node in future, and anything that is missing with the present documentation, they can help us document. So the idea here is whatever skill set you have, whatever you want to do, just try to talk about it. And that's why we have created this Discord server. We have over 1,000 of users, and these 1,000 users are from the Ethereum community itself. So if you have a question, I may not be having answers to all the questions, but anyone in the group, if they have answer, they will help you jump in and answer the question. We want that people who are interested should not get lost in the weeds. They should find a way to, find what job they are looking for. I hope this helps. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just to follow that up, there can be an issue sometimes in the blockchain space where a lot of times groups want you to kind of prove yourself to get to know you. But when you're coming into the space, there can really be a ton of different directions to turn to, and it's hard to know even where to start. If that's the kind of thing that you're talking about, that it would be easier to see like a clear list of, hey, here's something you can do. Here's somewhere where you can do something. We can try and help you maybe focus in based off of what your interests are, like what you'd be looking to help with or where you'd be looking to get involved, to have maybe a few different potential platforms that you could look into, places that you might feel comfortable like making that jump and starting contributing or something like that. But because it can be kind of paralyzing just how many different options are out there, knowing where to start or like even what to do. So I'm not sure if that's what you meant, but that is also something that I think would be able to help with.
No, certainly. Like I think a direction like about concrete projects that perhaps need technical writing skills or something like that would be super helpful for me personally.
I actually desperately need a technical writer outside my cat herder stuff, if that's the case.
Maybe we can talk afterwards.
Yeah.
I'd be super eager to help. And perhaps I do come from a product management profile, right? And it's a different kind of job. And perhaps, this space, like I've seen many companies that are so small that they don't really have dedicated product managers. And, there's not a lot of actual contribution that you can make in this kind of role, perhaps, right? Maybe being a developer is a bit easier, right? just a comment maybe on why it's maybe particularly hard for me, right? But it's okay.
I do think that with a lot of the really kind of scrappy crypto startups, I think a lot of times they're missing a lot of different roles. I do think the project manager is oftentimes one of them. Unfortunately, you also see that designer is oftentimes missing along with UX. It takes a lot of times it'll take teams time before they like have that kind of more formalized structure.
Yeah, and it's normal, it's normal. Like I've been reviewing, for instance, just Arbitrum. I bet everybody knows Arbitrum in this group, right? And I don't think at this point in time they have a product manager, right? Which, okay, right? But at a certain point where there's going to be more communication and more coordination, there's a place for that kind of role, right? But it's the reality is that these teams are still super small, right? I think.
Just wanted to check, Pooja, if you can share the link to that program which you mentioned. Thanks a lot. And also, I think just wanted to follow up on other question which I think somebody asked is, let's say this EIP process, what is the starting point? How can we get involved?
I could take that one if you want, Pooja.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay, fine. The EIP process, I'd say there's a few different ways that you can get involved with. I'd say there's really 3 different kinds, like categories of people in EIPs. There are people who are writing EIPs. There are people who are kind of either shepherding or editing EIPs, and then there's people who are consuming EIPs. Like anytime anybody writes an ERC20 token, technically they're consuming an EIP. They're using ERC20 in order to write their token. Anyone who builds an Ethereum client will be using a large amount of core EIPs, which basically form the specification for what an Ethereum client has to be. I suspect what you mean when you talk about involvement in EIPs, correct me if I'm wrong, is kind of that middle category. Other people are writing them, other people are using them, but then there's a middle category of people who help edit them, who comment on them, things of that general sort. Do you mean that, or do you mean writing?
Yeah, I exactly. I mean, yeah, exactly. Like how to contribute to that process, and like review, or kind of the editing, or helping it take forward. Build the like momentum, accelerate it. Things like those. Yeah, in between. Yeah, basically, yes.
So one thing I would say is just kind of lurking in the EIP repo, seeing what's being, maybe I'll take a step back. I'm assuming that you have a good familiarity with the EIP process, but just in case there's other people here who don't, basically, I mean, first of all, to start it from the way beginning, EIPs are the way that standards are proposed in the Ethereum, like for the Ethereum blockchain. There's different categories. The 2 most widely used are core, which make up the specification for an Ethereum client, and ERCs, which are kind of application layer standards, like ERC20, which is the general fungible token standard, or 721, which is the NFT standard that most people are familiar with, along with 1155. Those have a repo, which Pooja has posted the link to, or links to, in the chat. Canonically, it's a GitHub repo, which is also mirrored in the ethereum.org domain. You can view all of the EIPs there. There's a whole process that they go through. There's a whole specification that the EIP itself needs to follow, which means that there are certain people who have the job of being EIP editors. So the canonical EIP editors are the ones who actually have push-pull rights on the EIP repo. So if you have an EIP that you're proposing, they're kind of the final line about whether it gets merged into the repo or not. They're the ones who are checking to make sure that those standards are being followed. But there's a lot of unofficial people also who hang out in the repo, I'd say, who might review proposals. For instance, actually really 2 of the editors now really got to the point of being editors just by being in the EIP repo so much that it got to the point that the editors would see if these people had reviewed an EIP, that it was probably legit. It made the official editors work much easier. So lurking in the EIP repo, seeing what's being proposed, doing code reviews on it, which aren't really code reviews. We're talking about markdown documents, but making sure that things actually do conform to the specification for an EIP that's in the repo and that's specified in EIP 1 really is all you need to do to start getting involved. And that itself is, I'd say, well on the way to actually becoming an EIP editor. I'd put it this way, being an official EIP editor, I would not exactly say is a job that people are like hotly demanding for themselves. It's a lot of work. And if it's something that you're interested in, by all means, the community could use more. And that's really the best way to do it. And it's very much a meritocracy. The more you involve yourself in it, the more that people see that you're legit and in the process, the more you'll be involved in the process naturally.
Gotcha. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Just to add on that, with EIPs, we are also working on sharing information. Like there are proposals which are upcoming with upcoming upgrades. So we have this program called PEEP and EVE, in which we talk about every individual proposal. Say, for example, some of you may have heard about EIP 1559, the base fee changing proposal. So we needed a lot of work when we were working towards that proposal to be on the mainnet. The community outreach is needed, like people need to know about that proposal. The different infrastructure team that they are helping out with Ethereum, they should be aware of this proposal is coming up, their implementation, how they are doing, if they need any kind of help. So there are a lot of area where a non-technical person can also contribute. And these initiatives are led by Ethereum cat herders. So when it came to London for EIP 1559, we were reaching out to different teams and infrastructure providers and clients to see if they have any need of any support or any information. Also, with the help of PEEP and EVE, we talk about these proposals, like the author of the proposal, they come to our show, they talk about what this proposal is and what change it is going to bring into Ethereum main chain. So another way of helping out would be if you have question about any topic you want to understand, suppose you're working on a project, many people worked on NFT-led projects. So if you have questions on that or the implementation of any particular proposal, you can reach us and we'll try to get in touch with the author or the people who are actually involved in implementation and get that answered for you.
Thank you. I'm just curious, one question I have is like, there are some DAOs also who kind of propagate and accelerate the Ethereum ecosystem, and how is ECH is like differently positioned compared to, let's say, some of these other players in the ecosystem? Just curious.
So yeah, it is. ECH as of now is not a DAO in itself. It's a group of volunteers, we can say, like people from any project or any area. If they want to contribute, they can come and contribute, and there's no bond. Nobody is like, forcing you to be here and you can go out. It's up to you completely. There are certain things that we try to streamline. We have process in place, and if you want to learn about that process, want to be a part of that, it would be easier for you. And there is this very interesting thing that I want to make a mention of with the help, because you talked about proposals and you talked about DAO, so that is something there in my mind. With the proposals, if there is a need of broader level of facilitation, we also reach out to certain DAOs. For example, there was this proposal, I think it is 3740. Sam Wilson's proposal. Forgive me if I'm mentioning it wrong, but there was this proposal and we wanted this to be more researched, and even audit was required for that proposal. So I put the group in touch with Moloch DAO. Moloch DAO is a DAO that provides funding for resources, for research, for projects. So if there is any such need, the cat herders can help them get in touch. So mostly we are helping with facilitation, whatever is our contact within the ecosystem. If you want to reach out to any of them, we'll try to help them as much as possible.
Gotcha. Thanks a lot.
So hearing all of this, I want wanted to inquire, one, from a, Pooja, like you said, there are opportunities from a non-technical point of view to get involved in EIPs. I think that's one area of interest for me, just because I think it'll help me understand the protocol more. So if there's anyone I can get in touch with and how I can contribute for EIP process, I would love to get in touch with them. And second, I generally like writing. I heard there's need for technical writers, which probably might be beyond me. But if there are non-technical writing opportunities, I think there are, ECH has a blog medium. There are posts that go there, so I'm more than happy to contribute and help out there as well. I think these probably are some areas I would like to get involved in. Happy to talk to anyone who leads these initiatives.
To start with the EIP thing, I think the best way would be to start joining the EIP meeting. And I don't know what is your level of interest in learning about the editorship of proposals, because that is something which we recommend for people who have been in the space for a while, because they understand the process throughout. But if you want to just begin with, I think the EIP meeting is the best place to start, and the cat herders lead that meeting. The next meeting is planned on September 22nd, I believe. It's on Wednesday at 1500 UTC. And we share all the information related to that on the ECH Discord general channel, but you can also talk to me like offline if you're interested in that, because I'm leading that session. So we'll be talking about how we can, or what is your particular area of interest, and how you can contribute in that. And about the writing part, as you mentioned that Cat Herders has the ECH medium, we would love to hear people's thought on different topics, or if they have any idea, suggestion, how to kind of article about any particular topic. If you can think of, we'll be happy to add that to our collection. I mean, if you have something to write up which you think is going to be helping a broader community, we always encourage people to write it up. William Sharp, if you would like to add something to it.
I'd say I really agree with what you were saying. We definitely could use more content creation through the medium. I'd be happy to talk with you. I'm sure there's others who would be happy to talk with you and see like what your interests are and what you might be able to write for us. Like, I think that's like actually a really good angle.
Sure. I think I'll reach out to do a few offline, see how we can follow.
Okay.
Just one thing that I thought of in the last few days, kind of thinking about EIPs, and I had kind of an idea that I wanted to see something that I thought of that I wanted to see if it's possible to start writing at least a draft for an EIP. And I think there's a lot of documentation. I still haven't gone through it. I'm planning on doing it. But I think one thing that I thought of to make it easier to onboard people who haven't written any EIPs before is the possibility of coupling a first timer with someone who had done it before, a mentor, really on a kind of volunteering basis. Basically, so, having a list of people who did it before, and see how much time they want to spend with someone per week, and it would depend. It can be an hour per week, just ask questions and see to basically onboard people, like people who are looking into writing an EIP for the first time, but it would be better for them to like have someone else on top of the documentation. The process can be something as simple as you submit just a really short description of what the thing that you're thinking about is, and kind of seeing, because it could be something like, oh, the answer is really short. There's no way that's just not that doesn't make sense, for example. Or if it's a good start, then the continuation would be okay. So let's find someone who would take some time to like bounce off ideas and ask questions from.
I think that's actually a really good idea. My initial thought is I might be able to help you out a bit. I have not written EIPs per se, but I have dabbled in editing a bit. I think the other thing that can easily come up with EIPs, especially if it's like a first time, is the process can look a little bit faceless and daunting, as in you submit this EIP, you don't get feedback before you open the PR, then you get like these review statements back saying like missing author field. This is not how you use this section. And it's just, oftentimes there's no one saying like, don't worry, you're doing a great job. Just need to fix a couple of things. And I don't mean that as a complaint about the IP editors, because their job is literally to edit the IPs and they're providing that as a volunteer service. But I do think that another thing that mentorship like that can accomplish is kind of serving as like almost a middle layer in between editors and someone who's trying to write the IP, like translating the review into something practical and sometimes just coaxing it along, like just enough to get it through. I'd be willing to put some time into that. My capacity in September is a bit limited, but something like an hour a week or something like that, I should for sure be able to find, as long as my schedule and time zones overlap with the person in the right ways.
Well, yeah, I think it would also make it easier for the editors too. Like, I'm sure, they want to
absolutely,
like, they don't want to, to repeat the same same things over and over, where, if you have a mentor that you just ask a straightforward question once a week or something like that, it would like can filter out some of the things that, and like leave the, the time of the editors for other things that are kind of more nuanced or less obvious. Thanks.
Sorry, go ahead, Pooja.
Oh no, I was just trying to add on one small piece of information. We have EIP 1 that defines the process. And if you think that's something that can be added to that, the process is very simple. We just have to create a pull request. So that is the first thing that we refer to newcomers. But I definitely agree with the idea that you're suggesting here. We can definitely look into it. Sorry for the interruption, Sanjeev. Please go ahead.
No, sorry. So you mentioned the EIP PIP meeting. So what is that? Maybe if you can explain if there is a possibility to join that meeting, if there's a link to that.
Right. So that is currently we are having two different set of meetings for EIPs. One is EIP IP, which is like a broader one where we have been talking about the EIP process. Many process has been changed. The process flow has been changed in the past year and a half. And I'm going to share the link here where you can find all the information related to EIP IP. This meeting earlier used to happen once in 2 weeks, but now that things have slowed down and the process has been updated for a lot many areas. So we are having it once a month, but we can change the frequency as per requirement. This basically helps us to understand what people find easier to go ahead with and what are the pain points of users while getting into this process. If they are developing, if they are documenting EIP and they would want that it should get the proper attention, it's a kind of forum we are trying to provide for users out there that they can reach us with issues and we will try to help as much as possible. The other meeting that we have is EIP editor. So like it's kind of internship program. I may be able to help you with this link. Here you can find some of the documents which I have curated EIP related, and this is something that we are planning to publish every month about all the proposals that's going into different stages. So it's important for people to understand the basics of Ethereum improvement proposals. So if anyone is interested in just the process part, EIP IPP is the best place to start with. And the EIP internship program that we have is like we are trying to have more and more people to leave their review comments and help us get the best proposal as a standard for Ethereum chain.
Got you. Thanks a lot. And these meetings are announced on the Discord.
Ethereum Chapter does Discord, yes.
Okay, got you. Thanks a lot.
I just had a question about I know Piper Merriam is in charge of the cohort that's going through. I've read through it a couple times, and I guess the only question I had was, are they looking for technical people, non-developers, or developers, or somewhere in between, if anybody knows?
As per my understanding, this cohort program that is run by Piper Merriam, they are looking for technical people. They are trying to train them to be a Ethereum client developer at one point of time.
Okay, thank you.
So I have shared the link. I believe that is the announcement blog on the Ethereum Foundation for this apprenticeship program. Today is the last day. Just as a reminder, if anyone from the group is interested, they can fill it out.
Got you. Do you know, is there like a full-time? I will read myself, but if just in case, if you have some highlights to share, like what are the ideal people like? Does it need like full-time commitment or?
I do not have clear visibility on that. I mean,
that's okay. No problem at all.
Yeah.
Thanks. I will read myself.
I did read that they would like you to be able to be available full-time.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Kenneth posted a link to the official blog also. Where you can find there if you want.
Yep.
In the chat.
Thank you.
One more question. So while I was looking around, I think I found something about a Cat Blazer program, which sounds like is about coordinating with all the different parties, not just the code developers. I was wondering if someone can give a little bit of overview and an opportunities there to get involved.
William Shaw.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's me, actually. The Cat Blazer position was created in an attempt to serve more of an external ops role. Like you're saying, it is not necessarily focused on core development. It's really just about trying to remove ecosystem friction, lower coordination costs, and make connections just to help advance the entire ecosystem. A lot of that is about identifying needs and then reaching out to them. Sometimes it's also about finding, I would say, volunteers who are willing to commit themselves to various initiatives that pop up along the way. I'll pretty much always have something that I could use volunteers for in terms of specific tasks. In terms of the general role of external ops, it's largely self-created. If you see something in the ecosystem, you think, wow, these people would really benefit from getting the help that I know is being worked on over there, or these two projects would really complement each other, or anything like that. There is literally nothing stopping you from reaching out to them and trying to make the connection. And to some degree, if you think about project management in a decentralized ecosystem, what you lose from a siloed corporation is that in a siloed corporation, everything, including coordination, like the level of information about what is being done and who you can get in touch with and how connections can be made is a little bit clearer. In a decentralized space, it's a little bit more pioneering. You kind of create the management. You can create a connection between protocols that otherwise might have never been connected to each other. You can push things forward, and you can kind of even change the ecosystem that way. And that is what the Cat Blazer role is looking to do. If that is something that interests you, reach out.
Absolutely, sounds good. Yeah, it does sound interesting, like project management, decentralized world, like you said, because to your point, you wouldn't necessarily have people reaching out to you saying, "Oh, can you help me remove this impediment, or can you connect me with those people?" And I'm assuming for you to effectively play this role, you'll probably need to be entrenched in the community enough that you identify those opportunities and you have those connections.
That's the goal. I'd say I'm still working up personally, but also between the different networks of people who are affiliated with the cat herders or members of the cat herders. I mean, from my little humble position, I can tap into Pooja's network. Hudson Jameson, who isn't, I'd say, officially affiliated with cat herders right now, but was with us for a very long time. I can reach out to him to some degree. Second order is oftentimes enough too. I'd say the goal to some degree is if you get enough traction, I figure people will come to us also with what they're looking for. And that itself would really help in kind of like having a wider field of information and possibility in front of us in order to try and push things even farther, even more efficiently.
Got it. Thank you for that. I think that does sound interesting. I'll prefer to reach out to you on that.
So just a small announcement, kind of like I already have mentioned it in my email that we have this bi-weekly meeting for Ethereum cat herders. And the next one is scheduled tomorrow. That is at 1500 UTC. If any one of you are available to join and would like to share something, feel free to join us. That is basically a place where we discuss where all cat herders are currently engaged with. So I think that would be something good for new people to understand which area they would like to pursue or they can think of contributing more. We have some ECH engineering work going on. We are working with automations. We have a website in which we would want to have the information updated every time, like if anything comes up, like people are aware of any new resource on any particular topic, we would want to have them available for people and kind of made sections on our website to make it a pool for all information. I mean, if not all, most of the information which is needed at any point of time. So you all are welcome to join. If anyone is interested to be added to the calendar invite in particular, do let me know. I'll be adding that.
Thanks, Pooja. I got this particular invite, so can I expect the next invite as well, or should I send my email details subsequently?
So this invite, all of the participants are not added to the cat herders email, but if you are interested, just ping me and with your email and I will add you.
Sure thing. Thanks a lot.
Well, it was really nice talking to you. If we have got like 8 minutes left, I'm just curious to understand, like, do you guys find it useful? And if you guys think that we should have some talk like this, which is like not officially announced meeting, and maybe at some point of time it would be going on YouTube. I'll be sharing the link with you all. Like I'll be following up with the email. And if you find it is useful, we can plan something maybe once a month, or we can continue discussing on the Ethereum cat herders bi-weekly meeting, whatever works for everyone.
From my perspective, I think this is awesome. Absolutely very helpful to kind of discuss this in a little bit smaller group. Yeah. Thanks a lot for organizing.
Yeah, thanks everyone. This was really helpful. It's good. It gives me a good idea of what's out there and what I can help out with. So it's really helpful. Thank you.
It was nice, and I think it was nice because it's not on a specific topic, and it's about just getting started and to get to know a few people and just see how it works. I think it's a special place, I guess, not like an ongoing project.
Right. Well, if we have any last question to take up, I'm happy to do that. Or else we can end up this session for today. Okay, so just on a final note, we are available on Ethereum Cat Herders Discord. So feel free to reach out to me, William, mostly. And then you can see the list of members there on the Discord. For any particular question, you can reach out to anyone. And if not, then drop your question wildly. I'm sure you'll be helped.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. Hope to
Thank
see
you.
some of you in the meeting tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye-bye.